some of the mistakes that many people make during the Taraweeh prayer. From these mistakes, missing the Isha prayer in order to catch up with Taraweeh in another masjid, or being more eager to catch Taraweeh prayer and not have the same eagerness to catch Isha in Jama'ah. And this is a clear mistake. And he who does it could be indeed sinned if he knows that he will miss the Isha prayer in the congregation, or if he knows going to another masjid will result him in missing Isha in Jama'ah. And it could also be one of the ways that shaitan enters into the Muslim, as he distracts him from maintaining the performance of the obligatory matters to maintaining the performance of the voluntary matters. Also, the second mistake, which is mainly could be from the Imams, is tickling or going through the Taraweeh prayer rapidly and fast in order to finish it in 30 minutes or so. The main thing, barakallah feekum, behind Taraweeh prayer is to ponder over the ayat of Allah that are being recited, humility and tranquility to be brought, and that usually is not achieved by the person who wants to rush. Number 3, the ma'moom, meaning the one who follows the Imam, carrying the Quran in the Taraweeh prayer under the pretext of following the Imam. Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala said carrying the Quran for this purpose is contrary to the Sunnah for several reasons, meaning the one who's praying behind the Imam carrying the Quran. The Imam in the Nafilah could carry the Quran, but the ma'moom shouldn't. Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen said it should not be done for several reasons. 1, it makes the person miss out on placing the right hand on the left while standing. Number 2, it leads to many unnecessary movements, such as opening Quran, closing the Quran, putting it in his armpit or pockets, going up, going down, and then coming back up, taking it out of the pocket. The third reason, it actually distracts the person who is praying with these movements. So if it is needed, such that the Imam says, please hold the mushaf, if the Imam has a weak memory, so he says, hold the mushaf in case I make a mistake, that is acceptable. But it's only one person that should be, not everyone now, because it is necessary. Number 4, praying 4 rak'ahs with 1 taslim. And this is common now in some areas, in some masajid. And that actually invalidates the prayer, because the Prophet ﷺ said the night prayer is performed in pairs, 2-2. So if he combines them with 1 taslim, then they are not performed in pairs. And in that case, they are contrary to what the Prophet ﷺ commanded. And the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever does an act that is not in accordance with our command, it will be rejected. Also, the other mistakes, or the common mistakes, is leaving the Imam if he prays more than 11 rak'ahs. And that actually leaving the Imam who prays Taraweeh more than 11 rak'ahs contrary to the Sunnah. And it deprives the person of the reward that in which he hopes for. And it's contrary to the righteous predecessors. That is because those who prayed with the Prophet ﷺ did not leave before him. And the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, would agree with their Imam even in what they saw as perhaps contrary to what is better. When Uthman ibn Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, completed the prayers in Mina, Dhuhr 4 rak'ahs, Asr 4 rak'ahs, the Sahaba disagreed, but they prayed behind him and they completed. And they said, indeed, in the disputes or disagreement is evil. And it is also depriving the person of the reward that is obtained. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever stands with his Imam, meaning in Taraweeh prayer, until he leaves, meaning he finishes, it will be recorded for him as if he spent the whole night in prayer. And praying more than 11 rak'ahs in Taraweeh is not haram. Sahaba prayed up to 20. And some said, also some narration, up to 36. So it's not haram. Also, performing other mistakes is performing 2 witr or more than 1 witr in one night. So the sunnah for the one who prayed witr at the beginning of the night and then gets up at the end of the night and he wants to pray as many rak'ahs as he can without making it odd, 2, 2, 2. Because it was proven from the Prophet ﷺ in Muslim that he prayed, in Sahih Muslim, that he prayed 2 rak'ahs after witr. And also, Imam Ahmad and the scholars of the Sunan, except Ibn Majah, narrated from Talq ibn Ali that the Prophet ﷺ said there are no 2 witr in one night. If you pray witr at the beginning of the night, you cannot pray it again at the end of the night. You can pray even, but not odd. Also, the other mistakes, wiping the face with the hands after finishing the Qunoot supplication. Wiping the face with the hands after the supplication is most likely not permissible, because the hadith that have been narrated about that are weak, to the extent that Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy upon him, said they do not provide evidence. Some of Ahl al-Ilm have elevated them to the level of Hasan because of their supporting witnesses. So they elevated them to the level of Hasan. We have many hadith in regards of the Prophet ﷺ making dua on the minbar, asking Allah for rain, making dua in the battle of Badr, making dua ﷺ in other incidents, and we do not have any authentic narration that he wiped the face after making the dua. If someone does it, we'll leave him inshallah ta'ala, because as we said, there are evidence, and some of Ahl al-Ilm have raised it to the level of Hasan. But it's better to be avoided. Allah al-Musta'an. because there's no authentic hadith referencing that from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Other mistake is the women leaving their houses with perfume on or showing up their adornments while going to Tarawih Salah. The purpose behind going to the masjid is to worship Allah and obey Him. And women are allowed to attend the houses of Allah and to offer the salah if they are secured from fitna, if they are protected from falling to fitna, and also others are protected from the fitna that it might come. As the Prophet ﷺ said, do not prevent the female servants of Allah from the houses of Allah. But she comes covered, veiled, not showing off their adornments, not wearing perfume, not raising their, not to display their adornments except that which is appearing thereof.